Hi guys, I hope you're good. Just a very quick analysis of NASDAQ 100. Um, so you guys can see that I've got the monthly chart open, and in my previous videos I spoke about how we have this candlestick over here, which is a liquidity candlestick, and we also spoke about this one over here, which is also a liquidity candlestick, and that in the future we might actually see price coming to this level or this level to grab some liquidity. Let me go to the weekly chart. So here we are on the weekly chart. So we can see that last week's candle actually ended up, or rather closed as a strong bullish candle, and I know that a lot of people are thinking that this trend, which is a downward trend, is about to come to an end. However, I also think that I should mention the fact that we have this candle over here, which is a liquidity candlestick as well, and that I believe before price actually turns into a bullish market again, it at least has to grab some of that liquidity. So it may happen that in the coming week we see price heading down to this level to grab some liquidity before actually pushing up further again. All right. So let's head to the daily chart to see what's happening there. All right. So here we are on the daily chart. So we previously had a gap in this region, as you guys can see, and we can see that the gap has been filled by the market. We can also see that we had a an inverted head and shoulders pattern in this region. Let me just draw it properly. We had an inverted head and shoulders pattern in that region, with the left shoulder being there, the head being here, and the right hand shoulder being there. The neckline is here, and what may happen in the future is that the price may come down to the neckline to retest it and then push further up. Right. Over and above this, I should just remind you that as much as the anticipation is that price may come to the neckline of this head and shoulders pattern, or rather this inverted head and shoulders pattern, um, the market may actually not bounce off the neckline, but rather go down to that candlestick that I spoke about, which is carrying so much liquidity, right? Um, we also have another candlestick over here, which is a liquidity candlestick. So that tells us that the market indeed has to come down somewhat to grab that liquidity. Over and above that, we also have another head and shoulders pattern in this region, with the neckline being somewhere in that region. However, we have not yet seen the market come to the neckline to retest it, and that's what may actually happen in the next week, where we have a head and shoulders pattern with the neckline being over there, price breaking the neckline and then going back to the neckline to retest it and then pushing further down. So should price reach the neckline, which is somewhere here, we may be looking for possible selling opportunities. We may be looking for possible selling opportunities. Nonetheless, let's continue. I'm actually going to add some necklines to those two head and shoulders patterns. Just bear with me, guys. Let's see. Colors fine. Let's try this. Let's see. There we go. There goes my first neckline, and I'm gonna add my second neckline as well. There we go. Right. Another thing that I'm going to add is a line to that candlestick that is carrying that liquidity, which is this one over here. I'll just leave a line there. We also have another one that is carrying liquidity at this point, at this level. So we'll just leave a line there as well. There we go. All right, I hope this makes sense, guys. Anyway, let's proceed. So the next thing that I'm going to do is actually add the Fibonacci retracement tool just to see if um, the neckline, the necklines rather, align with any of the key numbers that we have on the Fibonacci retracement tool. So just bear with me. So there goes the first one. Let's see. Um, as I said, guys, that we have a neckline over here as well as that inverted head and shoulders pattern, and that the anticipation is that price should come back to the neckline to retest it and possibly push further up, right? So can you guys see that actually the neckline is more or less in line with the 38.2% Fibonacci retracement zone? So that is confluence because we have the inverted head and shoulders pattern, we have the neckline, and we have the Fibonacci retracement level of 38.2. So should price come back to this level from where it, come back to this level rather from where it is, um, we may be looking for possible buying opportunities at this zone, but also keeping in mind that we have at this level a liquidity candlestick as well as at this particular level, right? So let me just delete that. Similarly, because we have this inverted head and shoulders pattern as well, with the neckline being there, the anticipation is that the market at some point has to retest this neckline, right? And that's what may also happen in the future. So what I want to do now is add the Fibonacci retracement tool just to see if that neckline aligns with any of the key numbers that we have on the Fibonacci retracement tool. Just bear with me, guys. Okay, we can see that none of the key numbers actually align with the neckline. So we can just disregard this Fibonacci retracement tool, right? Um, Before we continue, I'm just gonna add a channel to the daily chart as well. Just bear with me, guys. Let's see. Just bear with me, guys, as I plot this particular channel. I just need to ensure that it is as accurate as can be. There we go. So there goes our channel. Just gonna make it a different color as well. Okay, there goes our channel, right? Another thing that I'm going to do is draw an inner trend line. Just bear with me. There goes my inner trend line, more or less. And I will also make it a pinkish color. Just bear with me. Let's see. I just need to make sure that it is accurate. There we go. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Anyway, let's proceed. Um, so we still are on the daily chart. Is there anything else of interest that we see on this particular chart? One thing that is interesting is that we have a touch over here of the trend line, a touch over there, another touch over there, and a fourth touch over here. So I can tell you now that currently, as we speak, a lot of traders and investors have sold NASDAQ just based on these touches of this particular line over here, right? And they have all of their stop losses just above that line. So what may happen, I believe, in the future or in the next week as well, is that since we have this pattern over here, right, and we said that we might see price actually testing this neckline, um, The market maker knows that there are a lot of stops in this region, and in the next day or two, or in the next week rather, we might see price actually coming down slightly and then going up to trigger all those stop losses, and then from there pushing further down to maybe this area first, where we have this neckline, and then maybe down to this area again, where we have that liquidity candlestick, and maybe even further down to this area where we have that liquidity candlestick as well. I think on the weekly chart, right? So there are many possibilities at this stage. Nonetheless, let's keep moving forward. I don't see anything else really here of value. Um, so I think we're gonna move on to the H4 chart. However, before we do so, let me also just point out that we have this candlestick over here. It's also a liquidity candlestick, and it tells us that price can also get to this point to trigger that liquidity. Nonetheless, let's go to the H4 chart. Um, there we go. On the H4 chart, I'm just gonna fix my lines. Just bear with me. Yeah, that should be fine. Then this one as well. There we go. All right. So here we are on the H4 chart. Let's see. So what do we see on this H4 chart that is interesting? I hope you guys can see that the inverted head and shoulders pattern is better visible on the H4 chart than on the daily chart, because we've got a left hand shoulder there, head there, and a right hand shoulder there, right? We also have this candlestick over here. It is a liquidity candlestick. Let's see, what else do we have? Um, Over and above that, we also have, just bear with me, guys. We have this area over here, which is a resistance area. However, it is not that important, it is not that significant, so I think for now we can just ignore it. um, I'm gonna just add my daily channel as well. Just bear with me. Let's see. There goes our, sorry, not the daily channel, the H4 channel rather. There we go. There we go. Right. um so as I said, guys, because of this trend line over here and the fact that we've got a fourth touch over here, a lot of people have already sold, right? And others are selling because of this trend line as well, which has three touches there, one, two, and three, and another touch there. So this acted as confluence for them to sell, right? But as I said, guys, in the next week, um, we might actually see price actually moving slightly down and then going up to stop hunt all of those stop losses that are at around this region, and then we might see price coming back to first this level to test the neckline, and then maybe pushing further down to this level or even this level, because we have so much money stuck there, and we know that at one point or another the market has to grab that liquidity. So I don't see anything further from here. Let me just go to the H1 chart and see what's happening down there. Let's see. Yeah, so here we are, guys, on the H1 chart. um I don't see anything really that is particularly very interesting on this actual chart. But as I said, guys, I would love to see price maybe on Monday pushing slightly down to induce more people to sell, and then maybe on Tuesday go up, form an M formation, or sorry, form an M formation, and then push to this level. So should that happen, I would be looking for selling opportunities at that point, and my first take profit would be the zone over here, which is the neckline of that huge head and shoulders pattern that I spoke about on the bigger time frames. All right. So that is it, guys. And as far as my analysis goes of US Tech, aka NASDAQ 100. Thanks for watching, guys, and peace out.